The late adopter. Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar. We do show every day, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Central European Time, because we gotta know what's happening with Bitcoin, what's gonna happen with other altcoins. Is the bottom in? Is there hope? Are we gonna pump? Are we not gonna pump? I'm seeing some signs already right now that, people are, turning, the good people are turning a little bit more bullish, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit. And guys, we have been calling for some kind of 30, 23 to 25 levels on the bottom. We came down almost all the way there, and you know what we always say, that last dump, that one last push towards downside, oftentimes that do not happen. You get very, very close to whatever you think is gonna be the bottom, where everybody thinks is gonna be bottom, and then people already start buying in, and you never actually hit that target. Now we have been calling for 23 to 25k. We have been calling and saying that, the 200 weekly moving average is gonna be it. We've been calling also for the date around 14 June that might be the bottom. But and we also said right now everybody and their grandmother and their sister and their fiance and their kids and grandkids, everybody right now is looking at that 200 weekly moving average for the bottom. And it just might happen that we never hit that. Why? Because oftentimes when there is huge market sentiments about some number being the bottom, oftentimes that does not happen, and we're gonna see how this actually plays out. What we have on the daily time frame right now is a divergence. We still had this big dump on the downside. It might be some kind of bump and run pattern that's gonna play out, but guys, it's a good day. And I did find a guy yesterday that was telling me that, because here's the big problem. The big problem is that, although we have been seeing signs of the bottoming on Bitcoin, although we have been calling for 23 to 25k, although we have been saying that this should be the bottom, there was huge problem, and that's traditional stock markets, right? The problem was, how are we going to go up when stock markets look like they are just gonna go down, right? We are expecting some kind of massive depression. We are expecting 3 years of bear market. We are expecting this meltdown in the stock markets. But so how is it that Bitcoin is gonna pump towards upside? And yesterday I found actually a guy who says that we are gonna go up in the stock markets. So I was like, hey man, how is that even possible? Because on technicals, we have seen, we already called the top on Dow Jones, on S&P 500. We already said it was the top. It was the top. It has been going down. We are expecting continuation of the downside. But after I saw, what he's thinking about, why we should have this, what he calls a melt up, meaning a big move towards the upside, and it's pretty interesting. I went back to the charts and I watched the charts again, and there's a way that this can actually play out. So I'm gonna show you the way this can play out. I'll show the guy, and we also got a one very, very nice indicator or indication that this might be very close to the bottom. A guy that I look very up to, that I like through entire bear market, that there's not many people in crypto space that I actually look up to, but this guy, this guy is legend in crypto space, and it just might be that he's our best indication for the bull market to come. So it's all good. We're gonna talk about all of that. The hope is building up. Right now we are up a little bit, 2% up. There is some kind of divergence down here. Will we get to some kind of 23 to 25k down here? I don't know yet. We still got this new moon on the 30th of May to come. So that's a little bit shady business. So maybe the one less dump is gonna come, but some kind of doomsday prophecies of 3-year bear market, or some kind of 10 and 50k levels on Bitcoin, it does sounds very, very unlikely when you look at that. Before we start, who is in the chat, guys? Who's in the chat? The central plan, what's up? Batch guitar, let's go. Patrick, no, we don't want bottom yet. Yes, we do want bottom yet. I mean, if you're not down already, I don't know what you do. Martin RGL, good morning, Martin. How you doing? 25.4 is the bottom. One last touch and we're out of here. The central plan. Bottom will be early July, no earlier. Maybe. you know, nobody knows how the bottom actually plays out, but what we have said, once we, you know, when we are going down here, the bottom won't be on a week right back up there. This is not a black swan event or any kind of, you know, fake out. The bottom will be made out of some kind of pattern on the daily time frame. This is daily time frame. We are already printing this bottoming pattern. How this bottoming pattern will actually play out, how long it will play out, we do not know, but we are, you know, we are right now printing that, start printing that, you know, bottoming pattern. So we're gonna see how this actually plays out. Too hard to call, I think, right now, but maybe that was the bottom. I remember last time we dumped, everyone was calling for lower and it never happened. Yeah, so that's also has a lot to do with market sentiment and the price. From what, you know, I'm getting a little bit smarter every day when it comes to sentiment, and I'm trying to, you know, sense the sentiment, because I've noticed that sentiment has a lot to say when the markets are going to turn around and when everybody becomes bearish. And right now you see that right now everybody's saying, oh, we have entered the bear market. No, we have not entered the bear market. We are at the end of the bear market. We've been calling that, right? Because we got to know what's happening. But everybody right now thinks that bear market is kicking in. We're gonna go down some kind of 10k or 15k or 6k, or, you know, people are coming with these doomsday prophecies. And right now everybody's turning around away from crypto, because right now, you know, capitulation. You know, my, this is gonna, you know, this is the less stuff. This is the less stuff. But we also know that this move towards downside needed to come because we need to get into this liquidation area, right? Dr. Fragrance, yeah, I'm thinking that too, and Crypto Anoop's bottom signal flashed, which so far has been quite accurate. Yeah, so yeah, Crypto Anoop is also another guy that I'd actually like watching. He's also pretty, you know, he's not pretty spot on, but, you know, he does have a very nice, he's very good at pattern recognition, and I like that, because patterns are a huge part of tech analysis, and he does see things that often I miss. So yeah, Crypto Anoop, definitely a guy to watch, But it will be also, and the one new guy that I like to watching is I don't like crypto banter. I don't like the, you know, the banter guy, but Sheldon the Sniper, I think he also, although he does like using Fibonacci's and some other stuff, he does, his analysis, you know, oftentimes does, you know, correlate with what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking like whatever he's doing, he's finding the same, you know, same sentiment, same moves that I'm finding. So, you know, there must be something. So I'm gonna watch a little bit more of, you know, Sheldon the Sniper guy. So, you know, he you know, he's also another guy to watch when it comes to TA. And you know me, guys, I don't like a lot of guys on YouTube that are doing TA. I find very rarely somebody that I like and that I think has, you know, decent TA. So, you know, Sheldon the Sniper, definitely a guy to watch, you know, and, you know, if something changes, I'll tell you that that guy's crap eventually. But right now, it's, you know, he does seem what I'm seeing. Bottoms are very, with reversal. Sasho, iGamer. iGamer Sports, why is it 50% in your favorite coin? Sub bro, I exited at 60k, now all in. There we go, another bottoming signal. Esports, iGamer family esports is back in after exiting at 60k. Right now is all back in. Shorting wakes to zero. Leak B, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Nice, welcome. Martin Brew, Sandstappen, some song, I haven't heard about that. Huffy, I hope I drop to 25, then I can double my money easily in 1 year's time. We have already been at 20k, but maybe we're gonna retouch this. Not to 20, we've been to 26.7. Keith Hammond is in the chat. Hey Keith, how you doing? Ivan on Tech returned to, yes, exactly. Ivan on Tech, we're gonna talk about Ivan on Tech at a little bit later. Bro, we're going down. This is just the beginning. Exactly, man, exactly. That's kind of sentiment that I want to see more of, because once that sentiment is widespread in the mainstream and retail, oftentimes it turns. Sheldon, he went all in on Luna, and even when dropped, he continued to ask people to invest in Luna. It might be that. I'm not saying that he's a good investor or trader, anything like that, but, you know, oftentimes I've seen that his analysis does, you know, correlate with what I'm thinking, and oftentimes, you know, that's a good indication, at least for me. If I can find something, if he wants the same thing, you know, and I'm not saying that this is, you know, the only time that he is looking the same thing. You know, I'm not before as well. I haven't watched that much of Sheldon the Sniper, Sheldon, or whatever you call it, you know, Sheldon. I haven't watched that much of him, but, you know, he does have something that that he sees that, you know, other people are not seeing. Bro, Depends how long it takes, what it price, but 200 weekly moving average is coming. I'm telling you, like, everybody's watching the 200 weekly moving average. Look at the economy, are getting destroyed. Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. We are getting destroyed, and you know, but the sentiment is bearish, and you know, the sentiment does change. War, COVID, China, market. Yeah, you can list, you know, all the world's, you know, problems that, you know, the market is not the problems in the world, and you gotta watch a video by Alessio Restani when he talks about, you know, market sentiment and what the markets are. Market, you know, when markets are not economy, and economy not market, they are not correlated. So oftentimes when, you know, economy can be booming, but markets can be going down, right? On the other hand, the economy can be going down while the markets are booming. So they are not correlated. The economy and the markets are not correlated. You should watch the I don't know which video that was, but Alessio Restani, he talks about markets and economy. They are not correlated at all. Dobro jutro, M21, how you doing? Doing well, doing well. Retail versus smart money. This economy downturn has been sell the news event. Smart money sold the crisis in 21. Now the whole world talks about the retail. Fear and greed. It was time to buy. Maybe it's time to buy. Fear and greed can persist for a little while, so we're gonna see that. Peace, health, and greed. Inflation here is 8.5. Bitcoin is the best investment against inflation. I don't know how it's gonna play out. But right now, definitely the market sentiment is fear. But there is no greed. There's just fear. Benjamin Cohen latest video was good. I know it was EIV, but he has a good point. I don't know what EIV is, but Benjamin Cohen latest video was good. I don't know, maybe I should check it out. Dominance exploding, no alts. Yeah, we can check out dominance as well. And there we go, we've been through the chat. Guys, thanks for being here. Now let's talk about where is this hope coming from. Like we said in the start of the video, the biggest problem is that I did not see how we're gonna bump up on the stock markets. So yesterday I actually saw a guy that says that we're gonna have something called melt up, that we're gonna pump towards the moon, right? This is Ivan Tech, but this guy, it's called David Hunter. And he has something called melt up rally. He has this idea that we are gonna, have a melt up rally because the market is going up. Now, who is David Hunter? He has 49 years on Wall Street. Who cares? You can have 100 years, but doesn't mean that you know anything. That so how many years you have in the market, that doesn't matter. But he even says it. His analysis or his theory that we are gonna have a melt up comes from the sentiment of the market. When you have very, very bearish markets and everybody thinks everything is gonna down, oftentimes things change, and that's where actually the experience, this 49 years, can actually come in handy. And we see that right now everybody thinks everything is going down, and everything is going down right now. I think we saw Target and Walmart also dropping by like 25% as well. So everything, all of these big companies, Amazon, Facebook, they are dropping down big numbers. Snapchat, Twitter right now also dropping down. Everything is dropping down big time. But this guy says that we are very. He doesn't know that we are whether we are at the bottom right now or we are gonna but he thinks that we are very, very close to the bottom, and he talks about this melt up that has to happen, that we have to go up higher. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, okay, let's see if this guy has anything to him. And I rewatched the charts again. So as you know guys, we called the top on S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, and it was pretty easy call because when stuff goes up in a trend line, right? This is a trend line over here. Let me show you. There is a trend line. When stuff goes up in a trend line, right, and you break that trend and you go retest that line, that's the top. So we call the top up here, and it was pretty easy call, right? And you can see here that although we did do this secondary move towards the upside, it was higher than this top up here. It was in the ballpark area, guys. It was in the ballpark area. And we also said that these moves can, you can try 1, 2, 3 times. It can try several times to go up here, but eventually it goes past the support down here, and then it continues rallying towards downside. But this does not have to persist. Once you have actually broken these levels down here, you don't have to go down to 0 or something like that. You can just go down here, and then you can rally back up again, right? That can definitely happen. But we saw that the move towards the upside has been broken, and the move towards downside has happened, right? So you can see right now that we are on the move towards downside. So this rally he talks about, I mean, we already broke the trend, right? But this is the weekly time frame. On the Bitcoin, it's okay. You can look at Bitcoin as a long-term chart on the weekly time frame, because weekly time frame, this only spans back 10 years, but you know, stock markets, they span back since let me do the other chart up here. They span back. You cannot look at it on the weekly time frame because it goes so far back. You gotta look at a monthly time frame to get a full chart. This got an 1897, almost over 100 years, guys, over 100 years. And to see some kind of top up here, you cannot look at a weekly time frame. You cannot look at the daily time frame. Daily time frame, weekly time frame might be for short-term investment, but you know, long-term moves and stuff like that, right? Needs to be looked at the higher time frame, monthly, 3 months, 6 months, yearly time frame, right? So the same thing applies on the bigger time frames. And as you saw, for example, up here, let me show you on the, for example, down here on the 4-hourly time frame. On the 4-hourly time frame, you can let me find an example. Doesn't matter. Here's a good example up here, right? It's bad example, but let's just go back. So the same things applies to this one. When you have some kind of trend and you break the trend, you often go and retest that trend a couple of times, right? And this is actually the same thing on any kind of time frame. You will rally on a trend, you will break that trend, and then you will try to retest that trend. You know, maybe, you know, a couple of times, maybe 1 time, 2 times, doesn't matter how, you will try to retest that trend. And when you look at this on the daily time frame, on the weekly time frame down here, we got a trend up here, we retested that trend, we called it up, but this is on the daily and the weekly time frame. But it can definitely happen on a bigger time frames than weekly, monthly time frame, for example, up here, that we have broken the trend, especially if you look at it not up here on the bigger time frames, even monthly or something like 2 months times. 2 months times, you can see here that we just broken this last trend towards the upside up here, this very last move right now towards downside. So this trend technically can bounce back up here and retest the trend, try to retest the trend towards the upside, and then, you know, crash to the downside. So these big moves have to, you know, break the trend, And although we have broken the trend up here, for example, up here we have broken the trend, you can see here we have broken the trend. And you can even say that this is some kind of, you know, test up here where we go down over here on the monthly time frame. We can still definitely go up again, you know, and try to retest this one more time. Especially if you look at, for example, something like 6 months time frame up here. 6 months time frame, this move towards downside is nothing, literally nothing. You can see this corona dump down here. And you got some kind of trend line up here. We are not even broken the trend just yet, right? So 6 months times up here, where we are looking at right now, it's not broken anything, right? So there is definitely on a large time frame, there is definitely a technical possibility that we might right now break, you know, right now we have broken this trend. We might move back down to here to some kind of support down here, and then try to, you know, again get up you know, above this trend up here, and then, you know, do something like this, then break this trend line up over here, and then continue the downside. So technically it can work out. Technically, it can be that we are not yet broken, because we have called the top up here on the small time frames. You know, when you're looking on the stock market, that's the weekly and the daily stock. That's weekly and the daily. We have called the top, and that's all good and fine. Unfortunately, the stock markets are moving on a bigger time frames. That's monthly plus, right? Monthly plus. So on the monthly plus over here, like, especially if you look at it very nicely on the 2 monthly time frame, we have just broken this, you know, this move towards the upside. Right now going a little bit down. So can we do another move towards the upside? Definitely can. That would be some huge move up here, 40-50% towards the upside, maybe give or take towards the upside. So if this can actually play out, then we have this correlation between Bitcoin bottoming out and stock markets bottoming out, and then both of the same time still correlated, pumping towards the upside. Because this was one of the biggest problems to me. How can I you know, justify Bitcoin going up when we are looking for this, you know, depression type level market meltdown to happen, right? Unfortunately for us, there might still be hope even in the markets, and this, you know, long-term trend is right now still not broken. So, you know, that's all good and dandy. There's other indicators that might say that we are supposed to have a move towards the upside, just like over here. You can see this is the This is, so this is 2 months. This is DXY on the weekly time frame. You can see that DXY has been going rallying towards the upside on the weekly time frame up here in a parabolic move, and right now it is breaking this trend up here. This trend is on daily time frame up here. You'll see here we did break the trend. We did break the trend, and right now we are still expecting another move towards the upside up here, maybe a small move up here. We're gonna see if because if it just starts breaking this trend on the downside, then it's pretty much, you know, Bitcoin is gonna start rallying towards the upside. But if it does one more move towards the upside, we can push Bitcoin a little bit more towards downside, but eventually this parabolic move on the dollar currency is broken, and we are actually expecting to have another move towards upside, after that towards downside, which would correlate nicely with the moons. Yes, I know, guys, we are still talking about the moons. There is a new moon on the 30th of June. There is also another reason that I think right now is the bottom, but very, very close to the bottom. So that's why we are printing this right now, the bottoming pattern on Bitcoin. That said, the new moon is in the end of the May, start of the June. So we are looking for, you know, that to push us more towards downside, maybe into the 23-25 box that we've been talking about, and that will correlate very nicely with you know, this break of the break pattern, this move towards the upside, maybe up here a little bit move towards the upside. We already had this move towards the upside. We broke this trend, we retested the trend, but right now this trend is getting weaker, so we might do something like this and then go down. I don't know how this is gonna play out, but it definitely can go a little bit more up, a little bit more down. We're gonna see how that I'm expecting a move towards the upside. You see this line, this is the 14th of June, that's the super moon, so I'm expecting some kind of rally up here or something like that, and then move towards downside above this line up here, and then it's pretty much game over. This is pretty much going towards downside. So the dollar currency is right now the dollar is right now still, you know, going up, but I think it's already broken this parabolic move. I think it can still create another you know, higher high, but you know, it's already over. Technically it's already over the way I see it. So you might see that right now in, you know, Bitcoin technically bottoming, but we still said Bitcoin can technically go a little bit more down, and that can still happen, right? So we're gonna see how that actually plays out. Will we go a little bit more down? Will we hit that 23 to 25k level? Stock markets, it is really hard to find the bottom on the stock markets right now. We are a little bit extended on daily time frame, and although we have broken the trend up here, this looks like to be some kind of a channel towards downside. Depending on how you draw it. You can see we are right now in some kind of channel, some kind of bottom down here. Maybe we'll start printing some kind of a bottoming pattern down here or something like that, then break this channel towards the upside and then go towards the upside. How this actually gonna play out on the small time frames, I'm not quite sure, but you can see here that we are at the bottom of this channel on the downside, right? We can definitely break this channel on the downside. That will be some kind of capitulation event for stock markets. If that happened, then we might print some kind of bottom down here and then go continue rallying towards the upside. So will we get this one last capitulation event in the stock market? As you just saw, I just said that currency, dollar index, dollar currency, dollar might pump towards the upside. If it pumps towards the upside, we just might break this trend on downside, which will, and this trend is actually going down, so we might see some kind of capitulation week on the downside here, short-term capitulation week, where we recover right back into this channel, then continue outside, and then have this rally towards the upside again above these higher highs up here on the daily and weekly time frame, and then watch, you know, monthly time frame. Now, if you go to the monthly time frame, how long is this gonna take? Because here's the problem also with the stock markets. Although we are breaking this trend towards upside, and we think that this might rally towards upside again, like how long can this take, right? This is 22 right now, 22, 23, 24, right? You know, or will it just be, you know, big move towards upside up here and then, you know, right back down again? How this is gonna play out, I don't know. But if this theory by this guy David Hunter, and you can watch YouTube here on YouTube what he says about that. If this melt up rally does happen, it could correlate very nicely with the, you know, Bitcoin and everything. So we might have a big rally very soon, guys. So will we get this, you know, 2-3 months of consolidation phase on the bottom? What's gonna happen? How this actually gonna play out? We're gonna, you know, look at day by day, week by week, and see how they actually play out. But right now, you know, you know, at least I found something that's telling me that, you know, we are maybe right now having some correlation still with stock markets and Bitcoin. and maybe right now even stock markets are bottoming out. Now, what's happening right now on the charts of the Bitcoin, guys, and what's happening right now is that we have divergence on the chart. So what you're gonna see here, down here, there's a line down here, that's support line. We broke that support line yesterday, and we are having a divergence on the RSI right now. Now, divergences are lagging indicator, so this can definitely right now, although we have a lagging indicator, I think we might try to climb up here. There will be maybe divergence here on the chart as well, and then we might dump again on the downside. That definitely might happen. So I don't think right now the bottom is in right on this candle over here today or whatever, right? But over here might be very close to the bottom right now. And what we are having right now is this divergence play where we are resetting the RSI. So oftentimes when you have some kind of impulsive move towards downside, you will start doing this part over here. You will start doing this part over here. There will be a lot of divergences both up and down. And what is happening right now is that RSI, that's also RSI, that you got RSI down here. RSI also plummeted towards downside. So right now RSI is also slowly trying to correct itself while this is correcting itself. So we are trying to look for when this correlation between the RSI and the price is gonna come back into play. And once this correlation is still back into play, then this thing can actually do another move towards upside or downside. So we're gonna see that. But right now we do have a move towards downside. We do have this divergence up here. If we start going up here, above up here levels, and RSI goes up here, then technically RSI and the price is playing together. Unfortunately, if you start going just a little bit up here and you see RSI climbing up here too heavily, and we fail to break certain levels up here again, then we might have another more move towards downside. That said, we are still looking at some kind of levels on the downside down here. Let me show you. Let me do another chart up here without numbers. Maybe this one up here. All charts are, doesn't matter. Let's look at this one. This is fine. No, this is not fine. This is fine. Okay. So as you can see down here, there are two lines down here at 23, 25 levels down here on the bottom. This is what we're still looking at, for some kind of bottom signal, right? If we get into this area down here, that's pretty much what everybody thinks and what we think we're gonna have. But the thing that we are saying always, once we get very close to that, and and the price fails to get into that level, it might be also the bottom, because people already know that this is bottom, so they are pre-buying. They're not waiting to get into this level down here. They're just buying, and then price never gets into the box and just bounces before the box is actually hit. We also said that on the weekly time frame, the 200 weekly moving average, this average on the downside down here, everybody's right now looking at that level, and that level is all the way down here in the box. So that level, will that level get hit or not? We don't actually know, because everybody's watching that level. But we are getting pretty close to that bottom. Is the bottom in today? I don't think it's in today. We might have a nice move towards upside. We might even have a rally towards upside. We're gonna see how this actually gonna play out. We do have a divergence on the bottom side, so this can definitely play towards upside. There is one pattern that this might play out, and this is very important right now. We said that this accumulation phase might take something like 3 to 6 months. Accumulation phase might take 3 to 6 months down here at the bottom, right? Once we start hitting bottom, it might take 3 to 6 months, and that's still the case. Now there is an alternative way how this can actually play out, and let me show you that. There is an alternative way how this can actually play out, so let me show you that. So what's happening down here, at least on this part, up here, is some kind of bump and run pattern. So if you invert the chart, because it's easier to see, you'll see that we have been slowly climbing up here, or slowly dumping down here, right? This is what's called a lead-in phase. So you're slowly dumping, and then you have this bump pattern. So this is bump and run pattern. This is bump and run pattern. So you got this lead-in phase where you slowly move up, and then you got a big bump, capitulation phase, and then you go up here, and then you slowly go down back to this trend line. You break that and you rally you know, opposite direction. So this is also a bump and run pattern, also a reversal phase that can actually happen. It's not very good for long term, it's not very good for long term or big rallies, but it can actually play out. So you know, we might see some kind of 50 level. This might even, you know, go below up here, you know, bullishness might kick in and we might continue. But if this is a bump and run pattern up here, and this actually you know, right now just slowly climbs back to this this trend line, you will see up here there is a trend line up here, and we break this trend line towards the upside. This might just, you know, continue rallying towards upside. How high, you know, we do not actually know, but you know, it just might continue rallying towards upside. So you know, there might be indications right now that this pattern up here, it's not gonna last for, you know, well, technically this can, you know, end of June. I mean, it can, you know, last for a month's time over here, and if you push still even you know, more down here, maybe, you know, 23,000, you know, it can last, you know, June, July. Yeah, I mean, it technically can last a long time. But if it just goes up here, you know, it won't last that long, maybe a month's time, and then you break this and continue towards the upside. So this bump and run pattern can definitely play out, but you won't have this, you know, 3 months to 3 to 6 months, you know, accumulation period down here. So this accumulation period might be a lot shorter than I thought that it might be. But at least we know that, you know, that might be the case. That might be the case. Now this is a daily time frame up here, and it's only the last part up here that's happening right now. The trend over here that we actually broken up here. Let me see up here, down here, also confirms that, you know, this move toward downside looks like, you know, we might re-hit down here at, and if you know, have it very nicely up here somewhere, I don't know, somewhere up here, the move toward downside over here might look like we might hit that 21 level, but you know, it's still in the ballpark area down here. So we still got, you know, more options to fall down if we need some kind of support down here at 20 levels, right? So as you see right now, there is a lot of options on how this can play out, but the most important thing is that, you know, there is hope that markets might bottom out as well, you know. And there's this guy, right? There is this guy, you know, you can check his Twitter. He's talking about this melt up and how this is actually going to play out, you know. But it's all theory, and it's based on the sentiment of the market, because right now market is hugely bearish, and when the market is hugely bearish, often markets just turn around. The other thing to know, notice is from the guy Alessio Restani. I'll post the link down here in the chat. There is the link for the video if you want to see that. Alessio Restani. Alessio Restani, if you want to.
Hey guys,
Alessio Restani, he knows a lot about, you know, how markets move and stuff like that. And he had a video. I don't know where that video is, but he had a video explaining why market and economy is not correlated. Right now the economy is going down. We understand it. Everybody understands it. But markets and economy is not correlated. So just because economy is going down, you know, markets can still go up. That's a good thing that you have to understand. So do watch Alessio Restani and his video, because he, you know, understands market sentiment as well. And the last thing I want to show, that right now there is hope. There is hope. Is Ivan on Tech, guys. Ivan on Tech. So this is the guy. I don't, you know, I've shielded this guy before. Ivan on Tech was huge in 2018, 2019 in the bear market, you know, after the 2017 crash. He was doing Good Morning Crypto daily videos every morning. He's right now creating a project called Moralis Web3. I don't know if you heard about it. Programmer, he knows a lot about sentiment, a lot about markets. He's been in this space for a very long time, since 2013, 14 or something like that. Very smart guy. I love this guy. And the very first, when we are going up here, guys, when we were going up here, everybody was, you know, hugely euphoric. I was excited. Oh, this is gonna go up huge. This is gonna be nice. And then suddenly this guy that's been doing daily Bitcoin, daily crypto videos every morning in the bear market suddenly comes out and says, hey guys, listen up. This is the last Good Morning video. I'm gonna go do something else. Imagine my shock, man. We were down here somewhere, and maybe low down here in January, December, January. Yeah, up here. We're up here somewhere, right up here somewhere, and he's like, guys, I'm gonna stop doing morning. Like, we are in the biggest bull market ever, right? And this guy comes out and says, I don't wanna do any more videos, you know. And that was the first sign for me, you know, because nobody was saying anything. But when he stopped making videos, I was like, oh my God, is the bull market already over? So that was the very first sign for me to know that the bull market is coming to an end. Okay, when this guy said like, okay, I'm out. You know, I think he knew what's gonna come. I think he knows how this actually goes. I think he was making videos in the bear market, so he didn't want to do that again. And I don't know if I want to do the videos in the next bear market, because that just, you know, right now I realize that, you know, doing videos in the bear market, no appreciation, people hating you, they're unsubscribing, you know. So we're gonna see if the next bear market I'm gonna be here or not, but I'm probably gonna be here. But this guy went out pretty early, and then he was posting some videos up here and stuff like that. But yesterday he posted a new video, Bitcoin bear market confirmed until 2025, and you can see here in the background morning crypto. But at the end of the video he says, hey guys, maybe should we restart the good morning crypto video, because he's very actually bullish in this video, so you should definitely check it out. Ivan on Tech, this video up here, I'm gonna shield the video as well. Ivan on Tech, and right now he's coming back. Maybe he's coming back, and that's the first sign for me. That's the first sign, but you know, that's a good sign for me that just maybe we are coming to very close to the bottom, very close to the bottom. And you know, if this guy's coming back doing the, you know, daily videos, and if he does come back, beside Bitcoin Daily, you gotta watch Good Morning Crypto with Ivan on Tech, because this guy is so knowledgeable, so good, you know, it's insane. He's not good technical analysis, you know, he has his indicator, is all good, all nice, but he's very good at sentiment, at what's happening in the markets, you know. I like him definitely. So this might also right now, you know, it gives me back hope. That's where the hope part is coming in the title. It gives me back hope that we might, you know, be hitting right now some kind of bottom, right? Hopefully that's gonna play out. So guys, DXY went parabolic. It might pull back on the downside down here, which might cause stock markets to rally towards the upside, which might cause Bitcoin to rally towards the upside eventually. This bottom at 23.25 doesn't have to happen. We are very close, but I don't think that you know, necessarily we are there today, or we are gonna hit it all the way, because we already saw that big wallets, top 100 wallets in this last dump have acquired another 77,000 Bitcoin, and they are still buying Bitcoin and they are still acquiring. So right now, the way we are analyzing markets, there is a lot more room for upside than downside, guys. There is a lot more room for upside than downside. If you use this, you know, upside downside tool up here, where is it? Long position. If you look, use the long position up here somewhere, right? And you say, where is the downside for this, man? Where is the downside? Maybe it's 23,000 down here. Maybe it's 20,000 previous stop up here, right? Maybe it's 20,000. Maybe it's down here at this stop down here, right? At 13,000. But I would say, you know, all the way down here at maybe some kind of 20,000, give or take. We said 23,000, right? We said 23,000, but it might be 20,000, give or take, something like here, right? Now the upside for the move, if you know, this is the bottom and it goes maybe, let's say, you know, even just, you know, top up here, you can see that upside is a lot bigger than downside right now. Upside a lot bigger. If this that can bounce, you know, it might, you know, go up to 45, but it's almost the same. It's almost the same, right? If it just goes up here to previous levels, up here to the resistance, then you still got more downside to go. So that's why, you know, we might push a little bit more on the downside down here. But you know, if the target is around 80k or 100k or whatever, you know, the upside is already a lot bigger. Now on the other hand, if we do drop down below down here to some kind of 23,000, you'll see that this downside becomes very small. Doesn't matter how much you put it on, the downside becomes very small while the upside is a lot bigger, right? Because nobody believes that Bitcoin is gonna, I mean, there's somebody believes Bitcoin is gonna go to 10k or 5k or whatever, but the downside is a lot smaller than the upside. I'm not saying that it's gonna, but you know, if you get some kind of 23k, the downside becomes so small that there is no other way than, you know, than to, you know, go up, because the downside is so small. So there is more risk in shorting than longing. There is more risk in going right now short than long, right? Short, sure, it can play out nicely, it can go out fast down, we can have another capitulation event and so forth, but there is more risk towards downside than towards the upside. And the big money, they're not buying the bottoms. You'll see Will Clementa, I don't know if you know who the guy is. He's on channel analysis. He said something very small. You know, the big money are not buying, you know, they're not selling the top and they are not buying the bottoms, right? They're not buying the bottoms, and what they are doing, they are accumulating on the bottom, and they are selling on the top. So there is a range. There is a range where the bottom is. So they are accumulating down here, and when it goes up, they are selling up here. So they are selling in a range. They're not selling this exact top up here or exact bottom. They are selling into the euphoria. So if you see up here. You know, I would say euphoria started up here. So once we get into the euphoria phase, they are selling into here. They're selling into the, you know, market starting buying in. They're selling into euphoria. And when the market is going down, right over here, maybe they're buying. They're buying. So market's going down, a lot of fear, and they are buying. So they're buying the fear and they are selling the euphoria, and that's what he said. So they're not selling, trying to find the bottom or trying to find the top. What they're trying to figure out is how bearish or bullish the market is right now. What's happening with the, for example, stock market? You know, the economy is going down, so people think the markets are going to go down. But I'm telling you that Al-As Yoristani, the guy we like, says that, you know, economy and markets are not correlated at all. You know, oftentimes the markets are going down, economy is going up, and when economy is going, you know, down, my markets are going up, and so forth. You know, they're not correlated. So right now that you know, the economy is going down, a lot of people are bearish. Maybe, just maybe, these, you know, guys, they know what I'm doing. They're buying this fear and uncertainty, and they're loading up for this move towards the upside. And then, you know, when we start going towards the upside and euphoria kicks in and he ticks, this move on the stock markets will be a lot more volatile. You know, it will, you know, because we have been going this speed, so maybe we're gonna increase the speed towards the upside. So maybe there will be a melt up towards the upside, maybe there will be some kind of huge euphoria, and they will be selling into this euphoria towards the upside as well, right? So, you know, they're not looking for exact bottoms. They are buying, you know, the ranges. They are buying the ranges. So Bitcoin right now over here, they are definitely buying right now over here. We just saw like top 100 volts are acquiring more and more Bitcoin. They're buying into the fear. They don't care if the bottom is at 25 or 23 like some of us do, you know, but they're just buying everything because they know that the downside is not that, you know, downside is a lot more limited than the upside. The downside is a lot more limited than the upside. Whether they need 3 to 6 months to acquire the Bitcoin, I don't know how this is gonna play out, but we'll see. Crown is another real TA guy and says go with the flow, down is down unless a major change. Yeah, I watch Crown. The problem I have with Crown is he's way too reliant on indicators, and he uses all kind of indicators, and it's just not my style of TA. But, you know, I do like to listen to, you know, Crown, what he says about stuff, you know, on you know, emotional, psychological level, if there's any kind of thing, because he is definitely a guy to, you know, listen to. But when it comes to the, you know, technical analysis, very reliant on indicators, very reliant on indicators. So there is that. The dollar cost all the way down. So yeah, the dollar cost averaging might be the case, you know, because I'm telling you, down we don't see that much down. It can this be world shattering event that Bitcoin goes down to zero? It can, but right now the ways we're seeing, the downside is a lot less limited than the upside. So dollar, you know, big money are dollar cost averaging towards downside. They are buying, they are loading up already. And we said when we were up here that we need this move towards downside, because on the downside there was this liquidity. I would say down here, right down here, there was liquidity all the way down to 20k, but we already got into that level, right? And we said that this is the liquidity. This is the liquidity area where there's a lot of Bitcoin to get, right? This is the liquidity area down here, and this box all the way down to 20k. What does that mean? That means that once we start going down into this liquidity, there will be a lot of liquidations, there will be a lot of stop losses triggering, there will be a lot of fear, and fear and greed was at 8. I don't know if it's still an 8 or what is right now. Let's check it out. Fear and greed index. Let's check what fear and greed index is at right now. It's at 13. It was at 8, I think, yesterday or the day before that. Right now it's at 13. It's still very low, and this can persist for a long time. But when people are fear, you know, they start selling and stuff like that. So there is a lot of, you know, Bitcoin to be acquired in this area down here, and that's what we have. We already been through half the box right now. We already, you know, hit a lot of liquidations. We already hit a lot of you know, stop losses that has been triggered, and so forth, so forth. So if we go all the way down here, I mean, we will pick up the entire box. But you know, it's in the top side of the box. I would say that in the top side of the box there is most amount of money to get, and the bottom side of the box, you know, there's still a lot to get, but you know, people are already selling, you know, and it is just, you know, the flush just you know, ends down here. But up here there's definitely a lot to get, and we have been in the box, guys. We have been in the box, definitely in the box. We are still in the box down here below these levels down here, right? We are still in the box, and right now, you know, do we need to do another move towards downside? We definitely can, but you know, that's where the big money, the whales, you know, the rich people, I always say, you and me, we can buy the wick on the downside and, you know, load up 100% fully on all the S coins we want, right? But if you got like a couple of $1 billion or a couple, you know, $100 million or something like that, and you need to buy a lot of Bitcoin, is very liquid, but you know, you want to buy altcoins and stuff like that as well. You need time. You need a long time to acquire all of these bags and to hold them, right? So you know, that's why we're saying that, you know, the bottom might be like, you know, 3 to 6 months long. So we'll see how this actually plays out. But we are getting very close to the bottom, guys. So you know, that's a good thing. So Ivan Tech is coming back. There is this guy calling market melt up towards upside. That means correlation between stock market and the Bitcoin is back in play. Also the currency dollar index looks like it broke the trend. Maybe have another move towards the upside, where we might go one last time towards downside, right? One last time. And you know, once the DXY starts going on downside, then you know, both markets and Bitcoin can actually rally towards upside. We got two super moons in June, July, very important super moons. Technically it's 3 in August as well, but no, 2 moons, June, July, super moons that should indicate the bottom. We've been calling for this for a very long time as well. So you know, the date is there. The last little problem on the way there is the new moon on the 30th for right now over here. If you look at the moon phases, right now we got a full moon up here that's still pushing us a little bit sideways up here, but up here on the this 31st of May, we are getting one of these red moons, the new moon again, right over here, right? We are getting the red moon. So this might go a little bit sideways up here, and then we might have this last crash toward downside, because we are expecting around 14 June and 11, 12, 13th July. We are expecting these two. These are super moons down here, right? These are super moons. So we are expecting this to maybe go a little bit sideways, a little bit up, something happen up here. On the new moon, we are expecting another dump towards downside, and then we are expecting these super moons to actually, you know, propel us towards the upside eventually, right? Trading moon cycles. Yeah, we are trading definitely moon cycles. I think moon cycles have a lot more to do with technicals than Fibonacci's, you know, so just so that's said. Fear and greed to zero. Wait. When dogs start yelling, you know, barking, then somebody's outside. I don't know who is it, but it's okay. Maybe it's the mailman. It's okay. My wife's gonna take the package. Okay. So as you can see here, you know, everything is playing out. Everything, you know, the stars are aligning, the moons are coming into play, the bottoms are coming in. Ivan on tech is coming back. He said at the end of the video, I can show you. He says on the end of the video,
the markets to soon be aggressive. I'm not saying now because we're still in the downtrend. It is still kind of a falling knife. We do see a lot of bottoming signals, like for example the Coinbase weekly volume. So let's see what happens, guys. Smash the like. Want the video tomorrow? Could happen. Could happen. Should we be back with daily videos and maybe streams? Let me know in the comment section below. Guys, see you all. Have a good day and goodbye, guys. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Should we be back with daily videos? Yeah, maybe. If he comes back with daily videos, man, we're gonna have such a good time, guys. The bull run is back on. He comes back. New Year comes around half September for Hebrew community, just saying. I'll have to add that indicator. Stars. The SPX is not even yet to get on bear market. Respect the pump. 13 July. Yeah, 13 July. That's the case. Was there any announcement yesterday from the US? I don't know. I haven't heard about anything about that. The low has to be retested to confirm. Maybe it has to be retested. It's around 25 down here. So we might go down. Like we said, we are calling this dump down here. We are calling this dump down here between 23, right? We said 23 to 25. Like, you know, it's gonna be an area. I don't have an exact number where it's gonna be the bottom. You know, you can see that we hit almost that area with this peak down here. We came to 26 something. We came very, very close down here. What was that? 25.4, right? We came all the way down to 25.4, and you know, our target is between 25 and 23. So it's a little bit above, a little bit below, you know, where that's gonna be. 25 is just good number, as you know, 23 as well. If you get to 23, it's gonna be very, very oversold, right? But you see that we are pretty close to the bottom, guys. We are pretty close to the bottom, and you know, big walls are buying. So where this is gonna be, how it's gonna play out, I don't know. But what I do know is that the bottom will be readable on the chart. It will be readable on the chart. We will see the trend breaks, we will see the patterns, and that's what is gonna tell us. So one important right now, after this move towards the upside up here, we did create this trend up here. Maybe it should be something like this up here, give or take, something like this, because this engulfing can, maybe there is some kind of trend up here. So right now we see this trend over here as well. So maybe we're gonna break this trend up here, then we got a secondary trend up here as well, maybe something like this up here. So you can see here we can definitely break this trend up here, go up here, then dump down here, then break this big trend up here, and then continue towards the upside. How exactly this is gonna play out, I don't know. But we are getting close to, you know, close to all of the trends being broken. And if this does happen, you can see, you know, these trends are very alpha and omega and technical analysis. You know, breaking the trends is super nice, super nice. So we're gonna see if right now there is a good probability that we're gonna break this trend up here, move a little bit higher up here, maybe to the resistance line up here at 32,000, then dump another side big time from 32,000 towards, you know, some kind of down to 24, 23, 25,000 again, and then rally back towards upside, because, you know, up here and down here, maybe down here, and then, you know, back up there, maybe down here, then consolidate up here on June, July. You can see June, July up here, bottom down here. Could play out, and then, you know, break that and continue going towards the upside. How this actually gonna play out, again, don't know actually the gameplay, but, you know, general bottom is very, very close. Macro weekend, that's down at the moment, maybe this week. Trends in crypto culture with the red carpet indicator. No clue what that is. BTC weekly RSI was 10 in the last bear market. Yeah, so we can mention that as well. Let's go to this chart up here. We just drew on that chart. There is stuff on this chart, there's stuff on that chart. There's not that much stuff on this chart, so we're gonna use this chart over here. We're gonna add indicators up here, nice, and we're gonna look at just the RSI down here. We won't look at the moving averages. So here you can see on the weekly time frame right now we are at some kind of 32 level, right? We are at 32 level. No, we got to look at a full 32 level. Let's analyze the RSI. This is the weekly RSI of the entire market of crypto, and you can see down here. You can see down here that we are at 32 level. This is the Corona dump. That's exactly where we are. You can see this capitulation phase up here in 2018. Down here came all the way down below 32 level. You'll also notice that these two capitulation weeks on the downside. In 2014, this was the week, but we went lower than that. We went lower than that again down here. but this week again on the downside down here, it was indicating bottom right here. So we went up here sideways, kind of sideways, while the RSI was pumping towards upside. And 2013 down here, we came to the bottom down here at 32 down here, with the 32 bottom on the downside down here. So you can see right here, even the weekly RSI right now is telling us that we are at the bottom. But can we move lower down? We don't have to do that, but we definitely can move lower down to some kind of a maybe 30 RSI down here, 30 RSI on the weekly time frame. This was actually at 27, this was at 28, so can we move a little bit more down? Definitely can. What today? Today is Friday, no, today's Thursday, so we got like 3 days left on the weekly move. Three days left on the weekly move up here. And what's gonna happen is that we are gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red candles. If this candle closes, we are having 8 red candles in a row. Are we gonna have another red candle down here again? 9th red candle down to 23k. I don't know. We're gonna see how this actually plays out. But right now, even statistically speaking, in this over thing here, we need a green candle eventually. Right, we need a green candle eventually. What do you think about Ichimoku indicator? I don't see you use it. We don't use it, but we have our own Ichimoku cloud. See, this is Ichimoku, but we just took Ichimoku and just we changed the settings a little bit to fit whatever we are looking at, right? So we are not using the Ichimoku cloud the way it should be used at. Ichimoku is great with omelets with a side of pickled radish. Went to the beach and watching TLF. Farid! How you doing, man? Nice. Now that you're on the beach. So you can see down here that we went into the technically into the bear market on the Ichimoku cloud down here. Up here when we broke that through, you can technically break then and come right back up again, right? This hasn't turned red yet. Yeah, it technically has turned red right now. Unfortunately, weekly time frame did turn red. And I mean, so we can expect right now, how long is this part up here? We can expect some very long bear market, right? Based on this, we can expect very long bear market, guys. We can expect very long bear market. maybe this is the most accurate indicator ever. I don't know. On the daily time frame, we are in deep red right now. We are deep red, and right now we are going down. Over here it says above 38. This is not Ichimoku cloud, guys. This is not Ichimoku cloud. We don't do this on this channel. We're just having fun with the Ichimoku cloud because we do not understand it. Too complicated for our little brains. So there is that. So yeah, guys, that's about it. Hope is back in. Bottom, there is more upside than downside. So people are seeing that. We already know the whales are buying. So there is definitely hope. How this actually gonna play out, we're gonna see that. But right now we got some kind of divergences playing out after this move. I don't think we are at the very bottom just yet, but we are getting very close. Let's go to the 4-hourly time frame. Just pull some nice lines up here. You can see this last move towards the upside up here. Towards the upside, this actually broke. Try to get up. I think I don't know if we are gonna go up there right now. I think we might pull back a little bit up here, pull back a little bit, and then try do another move towards downside, maybe 23,000. I don't know. Oh, this might try it right now. Just try it, pulling it all the way up there, maybe. I don't know. So some things are harder to predict than other things, right? Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. You gotta do one thing. You gotta sign up for Qcoin. There's a link down below, and Binance if you're not signed up, because there is not many places you can get decent altcoins, and these two respectable exchanges, they're pretty fine. There is a link down below. The Foxmax, marry me TLA. Sorry man, I'm not walking in that direction. That's it, guys. Links down below. I'm gonna start shilling Qcoin links all the time right now, because the next gem is gonna probably come from Qcoin. you know, in this bull market and even in bear market, I mean, so many Qcoin gems pumped that I actually was forced to actually make the affiliate link down there. Just make sure to set stop loss, guys. You also need to hit like. Hit the like button on the way out. Thanks for stopping by. Bitcoin Daily, 9 AM Central European Time, Monday to Friday. There will be one tomorrow as well. We're gonna do probably a live stream tonight as well, and we see how this is actually developing. That's it. Thanks for stopping by. Bye. We're gonna see you tomorrow. That's it, guys. That's it. See you around. Bye-bye.